Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. Y'all know why y'all here. Anything I said is alleged and my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is ever personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Housekeeping items, some meat and potatoes. It is free to follow me and subscribe to me and all of the things, you guys. Free to follow me, subscribe to Anonymous Tea, this channel if you're here watching right now. Also my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. We got some things coming on over there tonight, except for the Scots wanted to distract us. And then TikTok, Anonymous Tea Podcast for as long as it's gonna last. And of course on the gram, Anonymous Reality Tea. Again, follow, free to follow me. So we got to get into it, you guys, and this picture I feel like sums up the last hour of my life that I just wasted listening to nothing but foolishness because nothing was addressed, you guys. There's two photos, two slides that are going to go back and forth this entire video of the foolishness that I just had to endure, you guys. My NFL Sunday was interrupted with this tomfoolery. I'm trying to watch the game, and obviously maybe they were upset the Eagles won. I don't know, but just wasn't feeling anything that they were trying to gaslight us about in the live, you guys. So what happened, right? First and foremost, there was a lot of shade at production and a lot of shade at things that quote-unquote lazy producers do, except for the examples that you were giving of what the lazy producers do is what actually is happening on the show as we speak and what's happened for the bulk of the show, for the bulk of the 9 seasons. Like I don't understand what's taking place. Said they have not started filming yet. They have not started filming for season 10 and basically alleged that within the next week or so that filming for the new season is going to start, right? And also their main objective was that they do not want to allow Martell to control the narrative. Initially, they tried to throw Mel in it, y'all. They tried to throw Mel in it and say, oh, you know, before filming always starts, the Holtz. No. This time he says, well, you know, since, you know, filming, we've been on a break, we've been on hiatus, what'll usually happen around this time is production comes up to you, ask what you guys got going on, do you want to address this? And he basically said what Martell is doing with all of the posts and all that stuff is they're trying to have it so that Martell is going to latch on and basically fight with different people for a storyline, and said Martell brings nothing to the show unless he's fighting with people, unless he's going back and forth. So all the social media stuff that he did at the end of last year, essentially what would normally happen is production would ask him about it and ask the other group about it, and they would have a scene either at a coffee shop or at a restaurant or even at Black with the QUE, and they would ask them questions. Okay, so what do you think of the stuff that Martell and his concubine said on social media? Also confirmed that he is trying to get the choo-choo train on the show. Tisha's geeking out over the comments about people wanting to see her mom back on the show. MARSAU put a kibosh to that, said he absolutely does not want to see Tisha's mom back on the show. So interesting, because it's Tisha's mom that continuously would go on live and said that it's Mel that has blocked her from the show, not the petitions, not the Come to Jesus meeting in Huntsville with all of the executives from OWN, none of that. MARSAU is telling you, your own son-in-law is telling you he doesn't want you back on the show and doesn't feel that you're needed to be back on the show. Threw shade at the Fletchers because basically said that he's not going to renew vows just to renew vows for the sake of TV, for the sake of having something to do. I caught that as direct shade at the Fletchers because, as we know, they're supposed to allegedly have a vow renewal ceremony this season that's supposed to conclude before we transition over into the reunion, but said that they may do a vow renewal of sorts, at the 20-year mark. Basically wanted, This is the other thing, you guys. Mel continues to be the blueprint. I don't care what y'all say. Mel continues to be the blueprint because Tisha now is going to come out with a YouTube. Mel already has a YouTube. It's already monetized. Claims that she's going to utilize her YouTube to talk about things that they're building. You know, like what Sunny's original YouTube was supposed to be. About things that they're building, general contracting. And guess who's coming out with a masterclass? The person who said that Mel only sells t-shirts, y'all. MARSAU said that he is going to come out with his own masterclass for Sculpt, and that it is going to be about how to pass the general contractor exam. I felt like that was direct shade to Martell. And, you know, qualifications that he looks for. Wanted to talk about the fact that, you know, they talked about the lawsuit that they won, and that basically he wasn't proactive and just was blessed for the opportunity, but should have put out, but basically was saying he wasn't on his job either. Said that he should have put out notices, he should have put out invoices, he should have put out information on liens and that sort of thing or whatever else. Basically said that they do not want to allow social media to control their narratives anymore. But I'm confused because social media was fine when it was all bash Mel. Social media was fine when your own brother Maurice is coming up with the Funky Dineva Awards to divide and conquer in the LAMH sector. Like, I'm just confused. So is social media only okay if it's positive? Like, there's always going to be haters everywhere. Like, I don't understand now all of a sudden, oh, we got to take our narrative back. And basically said the show's fake. And basically said that they're never going to show their reality because it's always them reacting to things. Mention now, because there was a question that was asked, why MARSAU, what turned it around for him to finally start doing marriage counseling. And he essentially said that if it's somebody that he feels is going to listen to him and allow his perspective and provide, you know, good insight and all that he is going to be down for all those things. Also, I'm trying to think of whatever else. A lot of people were calling out in the comments the things that they wanted to see on the show. They wanted to get back to the positivity. They wanted to get back to the Black excellence. They wanted to understand if Martell is the issue, if Martell is causing all this chaos, why not just excommunicate the guy? Why not just refuse? Some people were requesting for them to quit the show, like Will and Aikisha did from Bell Collective. And MARSAU basically said to shut the bleep up, that as long as there is a check, he's not quitting anything. So basically what that tells me is you don't care how gutter and nasty the show gets and how disgusting the show gets. As long as you still get a check at the end of the day, it don't matter because you don't perceive the show to be real anyways. So why is your mother-in-law and others so desperate for the show? Why is Destiny so desperate for the show? As if this is the end-all and be-all, and nonetheless. Then a lot of people were in the comments demanding that MARSAU respect Tisha, defend her, say something, and all these things. And basically MARSAU was like, listen, you're not watching TV to see Black women protected. And I was like, wow. I was like, so like, what? What is happening? So you said that there were deleted scenes from the season, that apparently you and Tisha went out on several dates. Apparently it showed you guys being involved with some construction stuff and some realtor stuff that Kimmy was involved with, but none of that was shown. None of that made the cut. And basically threw shade at production. I don't care. You can say that you love Carlos King and that you love production until you're blue in the face, but you basically exposed their whole plan. That their entire plan was for this entire calendar year until y'all filmed the reunion in October was to discuss everything Martell has done since the holidays, which was, you know, the interview with the alleged side chick on the planes, you know, allegedly calling your wife basically the train, or no, I'm sorry. Martell's concubine is the train. And then, you know, making the allegation that Tisha is the automobile, you guys, and throwing shade at those fishing trips. Then MARSAU had an answer, y'all, for why he went to Africa by himself. So basically he's saying, while Tisha went to Auburn to work on her other master's degree, that he was at home raising the 3 kids by himself while building a subdivision and basically needed a break from it all whenever Tisha got back. That is the narrative. So it's interesting because they don't want social media to control the narrative, but you're very much in tune with everything everybody has said on social media, but you were the main one telling Tisha and others to ignore social media and that y'all pay attention, but you said y'all do now. Y'all said y'all do. You said you can't help it. Tisha's mom did that unnecessary live talking about how unbothered you were about all the stuff Martell was doing. You just admitted tonight in 4K that you were in fact bothered, that you are in fact bothered. However, you were saying that your botheredness doesn't last a long time, that you were briefly bothered and then you move it along. Now Tisha is bringing back the Mommy Business podcast now that the show is going to start filming. This is why people think the show is fake, because why wasn't Mommy Business continuing on whether the show is filming or not? That is what reality looks like. Whether you are filming or not, you are still doing your regular job. That was the whole point. That was why people were concerned on whether or not Black with a QUE was open. That is why people are trying to figure out why it's taking 10 years for Scott Manor to happen when several of us have built multiple homes in that time frame. Like, I cannot, you guys. Somebody then threw shade and said, are you guys living separately? Hysterical. And I didn't know until the very end that apparently the kids were in the background or near the background the whole time, and they were talking like this. So completely understand now why Tisha's mom is comfortable doing all these lives in front of her grandkids, talking reckless, cussing, and the whole nine. It is because they're used to this. This is normalized in the household, essentially. Is to, address this. Said that they, basically said he's not an a-hole. See that if you think that he's an a-hole on camera, he's actually a DICK off camera, you guys. Said that. Also, I'm trying to think as well, felt that the questions were being fielded from YouTube. Well, there were actual YouTubers in there asking questions, so nonetheless, they're going to obviously take it back to their platforms and discuss if they did ask questions. Basically said, really made this about Martell, said it's not called the Love and Martell Show, that it's called Love and Marriage. Tisha said that she did agree with the comments when it said that it seemed like in certain scenes and certain storylines that her and MARSAU were not connecting, that they were spot on with that. Also talked about, there was shade at Marquez, saying that Marquez is trying to be a part of the group now. Pretty much named everybody but Mel, though. Named Martell, named Destiny, named the Fletchers, named Tren, and named Marquez and Destiny. So basically named everybody but Mel. Essentially, I'm trying to think what else. Said that basically the reason that the show is crap, the reason that the show is a hot mess, is that they're trying to say, the Scots 1.0 are trying to say that they presented a full burger with all the works on it. And then basically said by the time production got a hold of the burger, they just left you with a piece of meat and the pickle left of the burger. So basically, you're throwing shade at production. There's no way around it. There is no way around it. Throw shade at, I believe that was Martell's beard, saying it was too low or whatever else. Tisha's trying to say, but we are Black excellence because we're educated and we're in fraternities and sororities. Tisha, that doesn't mean anything. Look how Martell has acted for not just the past couple of months, for all 9 seasons. What are y'all talking about? See, this is the thing. I knew this was not going to happen. I knew they were not going to address the revenge P. I knew they were not going to address that this is how Martell has been. They went over that timeline nonsense again of when they were all friends and when they fell out and when they came back together. But see, the part that you're leaving out is when y'all came back together, you came back together for Martell. You didn't come back together for Mel. That's the piece. And now all of a sudden there's no shade at Mel, there's no shade at the millimeters, but all this stuff that y'all said about her, now y'all are replicating. I cannot. She continues to be the blueprint. Also, for some reason, Tisha wanted to make it known that she styles herself, and I have no idea, I had no idea where that came from. I had no clue that people were concerned on whether or not she clothed herself or if it was a stylist. No clue at all. Also said, admitted that he was intimidated with the work with, you know, with the company he sued and everything else. Said that, you know, Tisha, she's trying to figure it out. She grew up in the projects all of her life, didn't know anything about building, had to learn as she gone, got married at 24, had a child at 25, talked about the oldest, how the oldest has got a 4.2 GPA and on one of the colleges got a full ride, so they're waiting for other offers to come in. Trying to think what else if I pretty much got everything. Described, I don't know if I said this or not already, described Tisha's mom as the female version of Martell. Tisha did not like that at all. She did not like that comment at all. A lot of comments asking for Tisha's mom to come back. And I just don't think it's a good idea, you guys. I think if we're already calling the show trash now, and there were people in the comments saying that the show is headed towards love and hip hop with Martell's antics, it's going to go even lower. Because what's going to happen is Tisha's mom is going to get on the show, she's going to go back and forth with Martell, she's going to go back and forth with MARSAU, and go back and forth with DOESN. It's just going to be a constant thing. And we're never going to get back to any form of any type of black excellence. Also said that, you know, the reason now that they're trying to show more stuff on social media is because the show's not showing black success. But the thing is, you guys only turn on social media when it pertains to the show or when it's time for the show to come back or when the show is airing. And that's why people are confused, because we're like, okay, are you just doing this to convince us something is going on, or do you really have things going on? And that is the piece as well. MARSAU compared Martell, you know, as for the people wanting him to respond to Martell, is that he's basically a naked man covered in bleep, covered in number 2, and blood, provoking people to fight. And basically said he doesn't know Martell's finances or what his financial situation is, but he said he could imagine that somebody that is not struggling financially would not be conducting themselves the way that Martell is and always doing outrageous stuff. Basically called out Martell's choo-choo train, the side chick, basically with the claims that people are talking about her and all this and that and using her likeness. Said nobody's talked about her in years, that's a lie, that whatever people are trying to reference about her being discussed on the show, that's a lie. And that nobody thinks, you know, basically Martell cannot function without any conflict, without any negativity. But he said nobody sees it for, you know, the concubine. Nobody features the concubine or any of that stuff. Basically said, why isn't Martell talking about his wine, talking about suits? Why is he always talking about mess and foolishness? You know, he said that, like I said, he has admitted that he has been bothered. So again, a direct opposite of what Tisha's mom was doing. Again, she was trying to get in front of things on the internet, but it did not go well because MARSAU just basically admitted the opposite and said that he was bothered, but basically said, hey, you know, he has a different process in terms of like how long he gets mad and upset about stuff. You know, and then MARSAU said Tisha goes back and forth on when she wants to be a soft girl and when she doesn't. Tisha came and left a few times during the live, this time to bring back the book, Let 'Em, and felt that this is her way of coping with social media. I thought the narrative was recently that everybody liked Tisha on social media, that everybody was positive. Oh, I see what's happening. You're upset that MARSAU is getting backlash because he's not standing up for you and defending you. And y'all probably sat down with Kimmy and Maurice about how we went in on Maurice regarding the whole cancer storyline and his treatment of Kimmy. And so you're not upset because you're not being dragged, Tisha. You're upset on behalf of MARSAU being dragged, which is crazy. Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, where's Tisha been dragged at? Where's she been dragged at? People have been trying to help you, Tisha. People have been trying to help you see the light, that destiny is not your friend, that your husband is sitting there on mute. But tonight he had a whole lot to say. It just was a whole lot of nothing about what is actually being said about him. like I cannot. But yeah, you know, basically said that, you know, they were at their wits' end with, and that's why they ended up doing counseling. So another reveal that we never saw on the show, what actually led to them being at their wits' end and all this other stuff. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I already said about them doing the YouTube channel. Well, Tisha doing a YouTube and MARSAU doing a masterclass, y'all. MARSAU said that there's used to be 3 qualities that he looks for at school, and it used to be character, competence, and chemistry. The 4th C now is commitment. Said that production, a lot of people in the comments were saying production favored Martell, and MARSAU tried to flip it and just said that production favors mess. Basically said that he gets paid by the hour. Called Martell a coon. Said that Martell is cooning. Basically, you know, starts mess with people, promises receipts, never shows up, always bashing somebody, always attacking somebody. But my thing is, Martell's been attacking people, you know, since him and things ended with him and Mel since the beginning, and y'all didn't say anything. Again, wanted to do the love bombing of Carlos King and that Iron Shop runs Iron. Oh, then wanted to gaslight about the GAY situation, the allegations Tisha made. So they tried to clean it up and say, well, we didn't say, Tisha didn't say that Martell was gay, but just that he likes men and likes to sleep with men. Meanwhile, his kids are in the background while all this is going on. He likes to sleep with men, doesn't know his sexual history. Tisha also talked about her speech and how she was embarrassed about it for a while and was crying about it, and you know, to production, and said that she received a lot of DMs about people receiving speech classes and trying to improve their speech and all that. And then at the end, MARSAU brought on his kids and wanted to bring on the kids to basically say here, look, you know, I'm not a fake social media dad or whatever. So I don't know if that was a shot at Martell as well about being a social media dad, or if that was a shot at Martell or Marquez, or who he was trying to throw shots at, that they're a fake social media father, because I found that to be very interesting, and said that the cameras are never rolling at black when they're being themselves. Then MARSAU wanted to give a disclaimer to the Mars soldiers and said that you have to be highly intelligent, you have to be understanding, you have to have thick skin and be witty and all these things. But you admitted as much that there's things that get to you, but you're just not letting the people see it. But that was really the end of it when it's all said and done. Like I said, I knew we really weren't going to address the questions that the people really had in terms of why MARSAU doesn't really stand up for Tisha. Why doesn't he defend her? Why does, you know, he pretend to be unbothered when he is bothered as it pertains to Martell? Now, all of a sudden, y'all want to blame social media trying to control the narrative for what production wants to do on the show. But now, all of a sudden, you don't want that to be the case because you don't want it to be a wasted season talking about Martell. But you've pretty much invited that. So I don't know how this is supposed to go for you. But that's all that I got. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I am curious to think of what y'all think of this live, and what do y'all think of my picture? Do you think my pictures accurately describe what I just wasted an hour on? Let me know in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.